Welcome back to Who That 242. I am your host, TIMMAY. I'm live from the Bahama Prince studio here on the Solid Podcast Network. This is episode 44. Shout out to my sponsor, Alive, the Bigger, Better Network, Believe in Best. Today I have Jono, and I promise you may come in with these locks thinking it's an artist or either like a rapper or a painter, but you're not ready for what you come to talk to us about. So, how you doing today, Jono?
Good, Tim. Everything good with you?
Yeah, man. So when always it comes to dancing, you always think with the break dancing thing, and you always wonder like how these people really get into dancing. So I'm very curious to your story, like you and you gotta be honest. Most dancers in that are women, so it's different to see
Yeah.
a dude dancing. So talk to me about as far back as you remember. Talk to me about your dance journey to get that. Was it more so you tell your parents, your guardians, man, I want to dance, or they was tired you bouncing off the walls and they put you in dance burst of energy, or just talk to you about getting into dance because this ain't no free thing. Like someone had to pay for you to go and dance, and
Like,
then for it to develop. So talk to you about that.
sure, both. So when I was younger, as far back as I can remember, my grand had figurines of ballerinas all over the house. For some strange reason, I don't know why. And my granddad, he would always tell me that house, and I would break everything up except for the figurines of the ballerinas. And in there and staring at the figures for hours and I move or some sit on top of the pillow and just stare at the figurines. And I think it was interest, but I think my interest was sparked because dance is my purpose. And I feel like when I see immediately in my like 5 or 6 year old mind, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So moving on into, pre-adolescence, at about 7, 8 years old, I grew up out siblings. There are seven of us in my mom's clan, and my older brother, they were born like in the 90s. They 90s kids. I want Wagon Tales, I SpongeBob, watching TRL, Sex and Park, we
Yeah.
watching H1 Soul, and so I loved to dance. I didn't want to watch anything anymore because I was really captivated by the early music videos of the early nations. I remember seeing My Way, the video for the song
Usher,
My Way.
Usher, yeah.
I remember looking at that and saying, "Oh my God, like this is literally what I want of my life." I remember watching Usher in his like moment when in Europe with the car when he came out of the car and he had this little dance break, and then obviously Michael Jackson and seeing people like Prince, big, heavy inspirations. We grew up in a house where history was always extremely important. So I knew like Sammy Davis Jr. and Paul Mayers, who's actually was actually one of Josephine Baker's partners. So Fire actually was like extremely cool for me. But moving on into like my I started doing tap at about 13 and I went into tap because I my family wanted it, but they didn't want me to be teased because I was already a pretty fit in per se with like everyone. So they was
Standard.
like,
You was there's a standard in a bad way, in a
yeah,
sense. Yeah.
yes. It's like so I was flamboyant. I was already more, more comfortable doing feminine, even though I did like Hot Wheels and I did like tractors. Still used to. I was still always a very effeminate young man. So they need the structure, like that masculine structure that they thought I needed top, but I didn't like it much. And it was something that I my family, but I ended up doing competing in the national arts festival for top, and I the best male top solo,
Oh, that's
and
crazy.
that's when I was like,
You
okay,
remember what year this was? You can remember how far back this was?
it was in about 2008, 2008. I was 15 years old,
Okay, okay.
and uh, um, yeah, and all of this was in Exuma at the time
All right.
because I grew up in Exuma, and I came to Nassau the year after that to complete senior high school. And so when I came to Nassau, I was extremely to do everything that I dreamed of because I always wanted to compete in, like I say, in what we call on the island big Junkanoo. I always wanted to be in, always wanted to participate in Junkanoo. I didn't know that there were festivals and other dance companies and other organizations that are getting arts. I wasn't aware of the existence of those things. Live that from that aspect, we do our youth a big disservice when avenues to express themselves because we have to we have to be. And when I came here, it was a big culture shock for me. Like, well, you didn't fit in it, so you moving and you have be a be different. And so when I moved to Nassau, that away from dance because I wanted to fit in really, really, really badly, and I did years. I no, not 3 years. I didn't dance for 2 years. I didn't dance in the 10th and the 11th grade, and I picked dance back up in the 12th grade, but I did it in secret because I didn't want anybody. I was still a oddball. As it relates to parts, I was always extremely different from them. So with that, picking dance back up in the 12th grade, and I did a workshop with the National Bahamas, and after that, I had now at the time I was about 16, 17, 18. When I did the workshop, I had no intentions on taking ballet. And I realized that it was very natural to me and it felt really good because it's girly that I like it. I like it because it's just something that I really like. The teachers like at that time, like Lawrence Carroll, he told me, he was like, you can actually, after I left school, I ended up a phenomenal man of Robert Bean. He, he's the director of the National Dance. And when he and I met initially, it was through my cousin, Samoon, and she introduced us, and I ended up joining the school, becoming a part of the company, and the rest is literally history there. So yeah,
So before
pretty
I get
intricate
you
stuff.
to dig deeper in your junk, we shout out to our sponsor Alive. The summertime, you're traveling, you might want to buy a new phone. So if you have a new phone and you with them blue people, or and you have a new phone, come over to Alive, get a live plan. If you're postpaid, you can earn up to $450 in bill credits, or if you're prepaid, you can earn $50 back in cashback reward. So BYOD, bring your own device. That's what I believe in Belive, switch to Live today. So right now, you told me the last 3 years you've been a part of the Saxons and you're now the co-choreographer. So that sounds like a very heavy title. So talk to me about what do you actually do? Because I mean, Saxons is a beast of a group. Like I can't even imagine the amount of people you have to co-choreograph for. So talk to me about that, like the thought process that goes through for that. As because that's only guessing from my understanding. I don't know if it comes down to you that okay, this the theme, and then that's what you got to do. To talk to me about, and then after you get your martial orders, you got to teach. I don't know how much people are the dances. So talk to me about that part of it.
So with Junkanoo is where Junkanoo is very, very important for me for a lot of different reasons. One of the main two reasons is because it's a cultural thing and honoring our ancestral connections, especially, and that's like our closest link. That's the only link that we have as Bahamian people to like the mother stream. Being a performer and always being on stage and always having such a having rigorous choreography, Junkanoo is just a time where I be free and I just get to dance. So the process for that is usually the theme, and the theme is then expressed to each section. And for me, what we have to take into movement. So how can we make the costume a costume and it's still gonna allow the dancers to be able to move in a way that bring out the beauty of the choreography. And then before the after the aspect of choreo with choreography first and costuming after. But I think that make sure that what you're going to wear is feasible for what you're, and I feel like that's like half the costuming. Like I said, we move into the choreo. I always try to make the choreography true to the theme, but I also like elements in the choreography that people wouldn't necessarily think of. So I like to incorporate and a little bit of hardcore, and I always tell my girls when we have our conversations, I always tell them half is the actual choreography and the other half of it is the acting. I on Bay Street and I's a leprechaun and on the floor doing the worm. You can be like, what is this all about? Like he don't look like no leprechaun. And have moments where you let loose and you let go and you allow yourself to and get back into the character of who you are in a story. And we have to tell that story in its entirety because we are being judged. And crowd response is a part of the judging system. So if the judges hear them say, well, they don't look like leprechauns to me, and you know Bahamians are so if they say that, then group, and even though people
It's
don't look
crazy how you gotta rely on these Bahamian people to get your points because you could go there, you could go out there and John your heart out, and then they could be like, oh, I ain't really too much.
exactly, and even if they feel it, we live, how our people is, they bias. So even if they feeling it, if it,
There's a
it
Wally or a Saxon or a Roots or whatever, so they ain't really true. Even if they like you all, they ain't gonna say it. They ain't gonna show it.
say nothing, you know how they go, they loyal till the end, especially when them say on opinions about everything else, but Junkanoo like a very structured opinions of being. So like so the group section may seem like such a small part of the bigger picture. What the choreograph section does is it actually gives you an animated description of the theme. It's a description of the theme to see exactly what it is that the group is trying to portray. Because if I have one off the show, look, I can have as much elaborate things as I want, but everything is dead on my costume. Nothing is see a dancer. I can hear a dancer. I can touch a dancer, and it requires a lot of energy. So the energy I put out it touches, it feel it in a more intimate way. And that's the reason why when it comes to any choreo, see the choreograph section, people lose their minds because it's a constant energy back and forth bouncing between the audience and the performer, and it high that I can't even explain, and it's something that is a feeling. I know it may sound cliche, but it's really indescribable. You literally experience it because when you see, when I go down Bay Street and I see young, like, look at me, I look at them and they have sense of, and then I see certain adolescent boys who probably were told previous for females, dance is only for girls, and then they see me, and then I bring a different to what they thought they knew or what they were taught to know, and then I see the sense of, and I see adult men who look at me, and they in they live in their body and their own ideology about certain things, and they see me, their opinions are slightly, it, I tip the scale in because it's not a fact expression, and, it's just an expression of what you feeling on the inside. Want to dance when we hear music, but we stop ourselves because we don't want to look, be inappropriate.
Silly or silly,
but,
yeah.
but dance is literally reaction to music, and music is a very healing tool, and music is like powerful, and it could change your life if you allow it to. I feel like sometimes people listen to music, you know what I mean? So yeah, with this it's a lot of work, but the work
Mm.
is worth it. About having discipline, and that's with anything related to dance. You have to be disciplined, putting your best foot forward, even when you don't have to. Be extremely
Hmm.
for you, and it can be something that you don't see as a big task, but because you know that you have to, well, you're performing for an audience, you still put your best foot forward, even if you know you could give us up, be satisfied. You still have to
Exactly.
always want to put your best foot forward because I feel like artists in general, whether you're in the media, you are a singer, it doesn't matter what you do. But always remember that your job is to inspire, and that's the inspire people that are behind you to want to do what you do. Dream up in them. You want to wake that potential up in them so that they can realize what they want to do. I love to dance is because I saw somebody else dance. So it's a down effect. And yeah.
So I appreciate you bringing that perspective because, like I say, I know no one else who could bring that unique perspective to dancing. I mean, there's some about the oversight. I know you about to be locked up and focus on juggling. So thank you so much. Let people know how to reach out to you if they want to either, like, you do shows. So let people know how to reach out to you if they need you and your group do a show for them. If they're interested in joining, if they even want some mentorship, just let people know how they can reach out to you so you could further this education.
Okay, so right now of making a new Instagram because my Instagram got hacked. They get me just but you could find me out on TikTok is Jono, Jono underscore Teron. That's Teron. Facebook, my name is Jonathan Stirrup. That's my regular name. Just my government name. My at is dancer underscore ANCER underscore HOLIC. Yep, and they are, and I'll be putting out some content soon because it's time to start being a little bit more visible, like outside of regular performances, and so just look out for some more stuff from me in the future, very near future.
So thank you so much. It's been episode 44 of Who That 242 on Solid Podcast, responsible by Live at the Bahama Prince Studio. And see you guys next week.